You put a lot of love, heart, and effort into your business. This is how to make your email campaigns more effective so that you get out as much as possible from those campaigns. First, I'm going to show you the trick that email copywriters know always make a better email, and the tool that will make this 10 times easier. Second, I'm going to show you how to clarify your content so it's easier to convert. And third, I'll show you what your emails are missing that could be impacting your email campaign. The first thing you want to do is review and clarify your audience. This is the secret that all good email marketers know and all copywriters know. Who is your audience and what actually matters to them? We're not just talking surface level here. We're talking about in-depth, who are they at an identity level and why do they do the things they do? Now you may be thinking, I don't know, Brittany, I'm not a psychology major. How would I know this? Well, of course, we're going to go to our good friend, ChatGPT. First, you're going to put in all the information you do know about your audience. Anything that they've told you in surveys, anything that they've shared on social posts, we're going to put that information in. One of the benefits of having a Facebook group or having an Instagram broadcast or having an email list where you can ask people questions is that you get a clearer picture of who they are. If you aren't already doing this, I would highly recommend having questions that people have to answer in order to join your Facebook group. I use a tool called Group Collector that actually collects that information and puts it into a spreadsheet for me. And then we also have a survey when people join any of our programs. We ask them why they decided to join and a little bit more information about themselves. This gives us information that means we can help them at a deeper level, and it also gives us information we can use for marketing as well. For example, I know that pretty much anybody that joins my AI 200K program join it because they want to use AI to be able to do things more quickly. They want to use AI to be able to grow without having a giant team or a giant budget. They're not people who want to spend time at their desk 24/7. They love the work they do, but there's other things that motivate them. There's other things that are part of what living a rich life looks like. For example, taking a few weeks every summer to go to Tennessee and float down the river. They want to do things like that. I also know that most of my audience bakes with their kids. And because I know those things, I can add that into my emails. I can add that into my sales pages to attract more of the amazing people I already work with. After you put into ChatGPT everything that you know about your audience, any information you have from those surveys, from those questions, you're also going to put in anything that you've noticed anecdotally. So even if you don't have the statistics for it, if it's something that you see happening again and again, any patterns that you're noticing, any specific words that they're using again and again, those are the kinds of things we want to put in. For example, make money while I'm sleeping. That's not a phrase that I would necessarily use because to me that is a red flag that triggers, oh, it might be a scam or might be somebody over-promising, but that's a phrase I've heard my audience say again and again. They want to be able to make money while they're sleeping. So while it's not something I might put on a sales page, I might put it on upsell copy, I might put it in an email, I might put it someplace that people that I've already worked with are looking so they know that I'm talking directly to them, that I understand what it is that they want. Even better, I could go deeper on why they want that and get more specific. I'm going to put all of those things into ChatGPT and then I'm going to say this. ChatGPT, I want you to review all of the information that I've given you and come up with an in-depth report of who my audience is. I want you to be as specific as possible. When you think you've gone deep enough, go deeper. By doing this, it makes it easier to have a clear picture on who your audience is that isn't limited to just what you see and what you observe subjectively. By having ChatGPT help you with this, it helps you take a bigger view of it and be able to go deeper in a way that you maybe weren't able to because, like we said, you're not a psychology major. With ChatGPT, you don't have to be. It's going to give you an idea on what might make your audience tick at a deeper level even than you already have. And by having that information, yes, you can sell more, but yes, you can also help your audience more. The next thing you want to do is simplify your email. A lot of times people won't buy because something is unclear. Their email's unclear, the sales page is unclear, and so we want to make your email content, your email campaigns as clear and easy to read as possible. Not only are we writing them specifically for your audience now, but we're also removing some of the extra fluff and flowery words that you might be using before. One of the biggest mistakes I see people who are writing their own emails make is that they're using all this inspirational, aspirational words that sound good to them, maybe if they were writing a manifesto. But in an email, it's unclear and confusing. One of my clients and a good friend of mine used to write about love and relationships. In one email, she wrote about how finding the right person was like walking through a meadow of rainbows and flowers and all of this other really beautiful imagery that would look fantastic in a poetry book, that would look fantastic in a manifesto, that would look fantastic and sound fantastic if you're talking one-on-one. But in an email, it didn't quite track. It felt confusing and a little bit hard to read. It was clunky. One of the ways you can avoid some of that clunkiness is by reading your email out loud. As a professional copywriter, I can't tell you how many times I've rewritten an email after I read it out loud, realizing this fantastic email I thought was so good when I had it on paper was not actually that good as I read it out loud. And so when you read your email out loud, you're able to see the places that you're getting stuck, where it feels hard to read or clunky to read, and then make updates. The other thing you can do is bring it into ChatGPT and have ChatGPT review it as well. The next thing you want to do is write better subject lines and split test them. How do you write better subject lines? The first thing is looking at the data. Look at subject lines you've put out in the past and see which ones have done the best. Typically, they're going to be interesting, curiosity, provoking, funny. Those are usually the subject lines that do best. The ones that don't do the best are the boring ones, the ones that you can read it and you know exactly what the email is going to be about. One of my most open subject lines was Black Friday is basically the same thing as a one-night stand. It's something that makes you think, wonder how these two connect. Another great subject line I had was half shark, half dog. Super weird, super interesting, made a lot of people click. Both of these subject lines have that curiosity factor. You want to know how they're connected, how they work together. If you want to get better at writing subject lines, you look at the ones that have worked for you so far and you try to write more like that. The other thing that you can do is use one of my favorite tools, subjectline.com. Subjectline.com is a free tool to use and lets you test your subject line. You want to get as close to 100% as possible, and it's going to give you ideas on how you can improve it. When you use subjectline.com consistently, you'll start to see patterns in what works and what doesn't work. For example, capitalizing the first letter of that subject line is going to work better than not capitalizing it. Using you or your is going to work really well. Capitalizing one word only is going to work well for you. Adding ellipses or parentheses is going to work well. And then split test those subject lines too. Keep the ones that work, get rid of the ones that don't. Ideally, you want to keep track of this in some kind of spreadsheet so you can see what's working and not working over time, and so that for your next launch campaign, you can use similar subject lines. Think of a subject line like a hook. It's the first thing your audience is going to see that's going to draw them in. The next thing you can do to have your email convert better during a campaign and to write more effective campaigns is to have a better call to action. Your call to action should be clear and concise. It should talk about the benefit they'll get from clicking. It shouldn't say things like, hop right on over here. It might sound cute, but it does not convert as well. So you want to be clear, direct, talk about the benefit. And the one thing that your emails are probably missing if they're not converting like you want them to, they're not interesting enough. I know it's hard to hear sometimes, I get it. But that's just the truth of it. If your emails are so boring that people can't get through it, they're not going to keep reading it and they're not going to read the next one. I've actually tested this out. This is kind of a weird thing that I tested, but I tried just a simple, kind of boring email, and I tried one that's more story-based, that's more interesting. The one that's more story-based wins out every single time, but that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is when I split test those two, the people that got the interesting email were more likely to read my next email that went out than the people that got the kind of boring, straightforward email. So we want our emails to be clear, but we can also add that personality, the human part of it, the stories into it, so that they're more fun to read and more interesting to read. The most important part of your email is going to be the subject line, the first 3 sentences, and the call to action. Today we talked about how to make email campaigns more effective. If you want to make more from your next launch, I have a free gift for you. It's called the AI to 10K workshop. This workshop is completely free and it's going to show you how to make money from your next launch with the help of AI. I'll give you all of my prompts, everything that you need to make more in your next launch. My name is Brittany Long. Click the link that comes with the video to get the free AI to 10K workshop today.